Social media is a popular tool used by people all around the world, and everyone knows the media is bad for society. However, in my opinion, media has both a negative and a positive influence on society. Social media includes social networking such as Facebook, Twitter, and video sites YouTube, and games with virtual worlds. Nowadays, video games become more and more popular, and also more and more people point the problems to violent video games when violence happens. So I'm Ivy, and I'm going to talk about the video games do not cause violence. Video games have been mainstream since 1970s, and also people have some wrong definition of video games, such as there are only teenagers, boys, nerds play them, and they are all violent. From Stephen Harrington in 2015 lecture week 4, the percentage of gamers over the age of 18 is 76%, and 47% of Australian gamers are female. Actually, some kids or teenagers are influenced by their parents to play video games. For example, I lived in homestay last year, and my homestay father is a super crazy fan of video games. He can play games all night. I found that his two teenage daughters usually play games during holidays, but not in school days. And both of the girls are good at studying. Healthline News in 2014 states that violent video games may make kids more aggressive. I believe that if I come from a good and stable home, you have friends, you are not bullied in school, and you have a healthy brain, so that you can distinguish between the virtual world and the real world. There was a famous the Sandy Hook school shooting event in 2012, and according to Daily Mail Australia in 2012, the Sandy Hook school shooting has reignited the debate around violent video games, with even some of the game's designers claiming the ultra-violence has to stop. However, from Time Subscribe in 2012, it said during the years in which video games soared in popularity, youth violence has declined to a 40-year low. In addition, while it's natural in such an emotional time for people to search desperately for answers, and often results in misinformation. And also the information from Daily Mail Australia in 2014, the mass murderer of this school shooting event is Adam Lanza, who was from a divorced home. At age 3, he began to exhibit oddly repetitive behaviors and couldn't socialize like most kids, and by 4th grade, he had been diagnosed with anxiety, obsessive-compulsive disorder, and autism. But his mother, Nancy Lanza, refused to receive treatment and strict medication for Adam. So we can see most violent perpetrators were in an unstable home and also have some psychological problems, so that video games become the modern scapegoat under the media. And from New York Daily News in 2013, the scientists who have done the best work on the subject are more likely to believe the media violence is harmful. Some violent video gamers said they play video games, but they have never killed anyone. There are millions of people playing violent video games, and they don't all become killers. Then those games must be harmless. From Australia ABC News in 2015, Dr. Pascal Molenberg led the study and said in normal everyday situations, people wouldn't go out and harm other people, but in certain situations, for example, during war, they have often no problems with just killing other people. So when people play video games, they know what they are doing, which allows them to commit violence without feeling bad about it. Lastly, according to the above cases, some special and psychological problems people are easy to do violence to public. And also violent video games do not lead to reality, because normal people can make difference of right or wrong behaviors by themselves in normal life. So in my case, violent video games do not cause violence.